Hello Scrappers, this is Lorraine from Card Creations. Today's card is a window charm card. I'm going to show you how to emboss on an acrylic charm and how to put the card together so that you'll have your little piece dangling in the center. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. To begin with, you start with a standard A2 size card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and what you do is you'll go ahead and score once again in the middle of your 4 1/4, and this is what you come up with. Now I've already started piecing together some of the little panels that I cut, so we can save time and I can have enough time to show you how to do the embossing. So this is how the card will look once you score one of the left panel in half. So these mats I've cut at 2 inch by 5 3/8, and you need to cut 4 of them. We're going to add 2 on the back and 2 in the front. The back of my paper had this pattern on it, so I flipped it, and this is where you'll be able to do your journaling. Now the 2 panels that are on the left side, front and back, I've attached them with some double-sided removable tape, because what we're going to do is punch our circle with this. This is a punch that I have from Marvy, and this is 1 1/2 inch. And then you can decide where you want your circle to be, or your little window. And I'm just going to put mine pretty much in the center. And believe it or not, these are sharp enough to go through 3 pieces of cardstock. And that's why I had you add the adhesive, because the removable adhesive, because we want to remove these and put our charm on first. But I wanted all the circles to match up, so that's why I did that. Okay, we'll go ahead and do our charm next. I'm just going to go ahead and set this aside. Now the charms that I have, I purchased at Michael's, and they're by Tim Holtz, and he has a whole selection of all different sizes, so you can pretty much do what you want with your card. Now I'm going to do a series of 3 different window cards using different sizes and different styles of cards, so just wanted to show you what they look like. Okay, now let's see, our embossing. Okay, this is the little charm that I've chosen because it fits perfectly in this little window. That's why it's nice to get an assortment in the pack. And what I'm going to do is get some double-sided adhesive, removable style, and add it to the back of my charm and just attach it to my work surface. That way when you're embossing, it won't move. Now I'm using a Versamark, and you have to be kind of careful because the surface is very slick, and not only is it slick, but it's also very staticky. So I used my embossing buddy on that, and I'm going to go ahead and get my Versamark pad, and this is a tiny little butterfly, and I've been using the Studio G stamps. They work perfect for the tiny little charms. Okay, so go ahead and ink that up really well, and then let's see, it looks like I need some more there, and then I'm going to just stamp it straight down and lift it. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and remove it from my work surface. Use my tweezers. Take off the adhesive in the back. Okay, and now I'm going to get my embossing powder. I'm going to use a bright pink for this one. Okay, and then I'm going to just sprinkle it on and just tap it really well. And like I said, using the embossing buddy works great. You don't get any additional specks, maybe just a few, but not many. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to go ahead and get my heat tool. Okay, and I think that's done it there. And now you do have to let this cool just a moment because it is a little warm. The plastic absorbs some of the heat. So we'll go back to our card while we're letting that cool off. Now the inside of our card, I've cut another panel, and this is cut at 4 by 5 3/8, and I use the edge punch, the Martha Stewart edge punch on this, and then I cut a strip that I want to add to the end like that. In fact, I'll probably go ahead and, let's see, cut that before I attach it. Just trim it. I always forget my scissors. Anyway, I'll go back to that in just a minute. I just want to make sure I have enough time to finish the whole project. So go ahead and add that. Okay, this should be dry enough now, so we'll go ahead and remove the tweezers. And I'm using a piece of embroidery thread, and I'm threading this through here, and just tie a knot. Okay, now the next thing you need to do is add a strip of adhesive to the top here in the center of the circle, because you're going to attach one of the threads to that. So we'll just feed it through there. And just center it, pull your threads up so that they're tight. Okay, so that's the front, and we'll go ahead now and add our panel. Let's see. I think it's this one that goes here. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go ahead and add that. Let me grab my scissors really quick. I do have to trim these. Now we're just going to do one side for right now, and then we'll flip it and do the other side. And that covers up your mechanics for your charm. Once again, add your adhesive right there in the center. Trim that. Okay, now I've cut 2 circles with my 2-inch circle punch and scallop punch, and then I cut my scallop with the 1.5-inch punch, and I'm just going to go ahead and attach the scallop to the perimeter of the circle punch like this. Now I'm just going to do one because I'm just about out of time now. And there you have your circle punch charm card.